With gyms closed, a lot of us are exercising at home now. Interior designer Glen Peloso joins us with tips on how to work all that equipment into your space. Okay, how many are you counting here?
107, 108, 109, 110, 1,000. Oh, exhausting. But the reality is that you're absolutely right. Now that gyms are no longer open again, and we're now what are they calling this now? The Deltacron. I figure like it should be some sort of transformer. Practically, we've had so many ups and downs. But you need to keep up the exercise so that it because I think it's good for your mood. It's also really good for your body and all those kinds of things. But being able to create a space at home that you can use is not that difficult. So really inexpensively, like literally all of this is like HomeSense Winners and those kinds of places where it's easy to find things that aren't super expensive, that fold up relatively well, and you can still continue to do some exercise. I know that like there's all kinds of programs on television that'll do yoga, that'll help you work through a workout so that you can stay relatively fit. So, by the end of the time, you could be like me and be able to do 1,000 arm curls.
Amazing.
What are you up to
and
so
still
far?
do a live interview. Amazing.
Right. What are you up to so far? So setting yourself up is important. Like, this is just a simple mat. This mat actually folds up to be a little tiny thing that you can stick behind the sofa. You can see that it folds in 3 places. It folds up. It's easily put away. Getting these sort of things like these tension bands, you can stick this in a drawer. But as you continue to add the number of bands to this, it gets harder and harder to be able to do. I mean, and eventually you'll be able to do the 1,000 like me. Finding yourself a ball, super simple to be able to do. You can do all kinds of exercises on the ball, but you also want to make sure that if you're going to do yoga, like find yourself a really good sweat mat, because when you're at home, you may not have the same kind of access to the air conditioning that there might be in a yoga studio. So you want to be able to have those kinds of things. Get yourself some good earbuds, just because, if you're home with a bunch of other people and you're trying to work out, you like the music to have a bit of oomph to it to keep you moving along. That's a really good thing to be able to add. Have something like a little bit of a Fitbit so that you can track what you're doing and make sure that you're continuing to do things that make sense. And these are all things that are really easy to get. Getting yourself some water, we should all be able to do this by now. Lots of people worry about silly things like, well, I'm going to mark up the floors. But you can find all kinds of shoes and things like that that won't mark up the floors at your house so that you can do them right on the floor on a yoga mat. Find yourself an outfit, because the thing is, often people who are working at home start off working in the pajamas, but they don't really do it because they don't feel like they got ready for work. And I feel like you should do the same thing with your workout.
Yeah, you change, right? As though you were going to the gym. And you just hang your gym clothes up in the kitchen like you've done.
I do sometimes, yeah, because it's a good place after those 1,000 things, you want to be able to air them out. Sometimes I just put them right into the oven to try to get the smell out. And people think that I'm cooking something very odd.
It's very Oscar Madison from The Odd Couple.
Exactly. Finding really inexpensive Pilates mats or yoga mats. They're really ubiquitous to be able to find. You can find various densities and witnesses. So it doesn't, if you're depending, regardless of what your age is, that you don't have to hurt yourself by not having the right things that you would find at the gym. So having something that has some cush to it is really great. If you do yoga, they have a strap on them so you can walk around and go to your class. Not right now, but you can get dressed in your outfit, put on your shoes, get on your yoga mat, go to another room and pretend like you're having your own. You've gone to the gym, you've done your thing. I like the fact that, they're really simple things. This is a Thigh Master. Who knew that they were still around?
They still have those.
They still do have those. This is by Wow. And so you can end up with really extraordinary thighs. But you can do all kinds of things. I haven't read the whole thing. I don't actually use a Thigh Master, to be perfectly honest, because...
Well, you don't need to.
It's once you finish doing the 1,000 curls, then it doesn't really matter. Getting yourself, a yoga block. This is great if I've used these before just in terms of, doing meditation and things like that, because it helps.
But they're also very versatile. Yoga blocks are if you're doing free weights, because you can do all kinds of adjustments using a block for your feet or for your knees or all kinds of things with that.
Feeling that you might be a fitness instructor in your off time when you're not.
I was.
Okay, I get it. You can also find all kinds of, various sizes of weights. You don't necessarily, because I'm at home, I have a bigger collection, but, you can find really light weights to things that are a little bit more heavy so that you can do things at home. You'd be surprised that even if you're using a relatively light weight, if you do a lot of repetitions on a really light weight, it still has an effect on your body and you're still able to keep yourself relatively fit. A skipping rope. they're so much fun. I can't tell you how much fun they
Yes.
are, because you get back that sort of, and then you just start skipping, and if you can start up all the old songs, Backdoor Susie, Mississippi Drought, I don't know all those ones, but whatever. You can just keep skipping and skipping, and it gives you a bit of exercise, and it's a simple thing to have at home. It's not something like it's really difficult.
And you could
Having
use
some
that too
kettlebells.
when you're outside, like when spring gets nice and we can go outside and skip. But you know what? We are having to skip to the end, Glenn, because we're finished with the home gym. You need to stretch
Excellent.
from all your exercises, okay?
I do. I'll start that now.
Great to see you again.